I put your new 4Gs on the G. I came into the bloody bottoms is under me. Cause I'm a nigga
Why? I just don't get it. I always catch you fuckers watching this sick shit. This is sickening.
Hello, everybody. I'm back with another video. And I didn't expect there to be an update for Fnaf Engine specifically. Fnaf Engine Reborn still isn't out, but there's a new update to it now, and doesn't change too much about the UI except for the little addition of this save current project. So for all of you OCD folk out there, fellow OCD folk, there's that now. So you can save your engine. There's also a list of changelogs here. We got new confirmation updates, neat new features, not very specific, fixed broken templates locking up the game, so you can use the other templates now. They fixed the extension API, so I think what that means is that, yep, here we go. You can just access it, you can see what extensions you have loaded up, and you can also download stuff. The extension browser is working now. There's a change logs menu now. Yeah, okay, I guess it pops up when you save the project, but yeah. There's been some performance improvements, bug fixes. They add close, open, door, and light code blocks, which will be followed later in the series, you know. I'll tell you about those later in the series. But, so for this tutorial, we're going to be checking out the office a bit. Now the office is like the main place where everything's going to happen. I think it's very important to start here, unless you know what you're doing with extensions and stuff and want to enable these. I would highly recommend it. I'm just going to enable all of these right now. All of the ones that are in here by default. And yeah, we're going to go into Office. And this is your office. So, like I said in the last tutorial, you're able to enable Toxic, which is an unused meter in FNAF 2, where if you keep the mask on for too long, then you die. Or, no, not die, but it automatically takes the mask off to prevent camping. Enable mask gives you this little button right here. Pretty self-explanatory, but one thing you probably didn't know is that you can right-click on it and change the image to whatever you want. So to import an image, you just click import here, and you probably don't see these windows, but it will be pretty self-explanatory. There's going to be a button named import, and yeah. So you could import anything for this. I don't have custom buttons on hand, but what would happen is that it would go into your sprite selector thing, and then you'd have to click on that. So say if you got like something called maskbutton.png and you import that into your project, it'll pop up in this sprite selector window, and you would click that and you would press OK, and it will replace the sprite. Same goes for the camera as well, the camera flip down button. And we also have enable flashlight, which you can use to hit control with. I'm not entirely sure if you can't rebind that, but I'm sure it is possible through scripts, possibly. Alright. Power is power. I already discussed this. Enable panorama, that's also something I discussed. Now, animatronic selector, I think, is to I'm not entirely sure what this does yet. I may need to look that up. But what I think it does is that hold on. Let me try adding a new state here. Whatever, just call it cam, it doesn't matter. I think it's meant to be like what the animatronic would look like in that. Here, I'm gonna cut real quick. I'll get back once I got the answer for it. Alright, I'm back. I couldn't find anything on it. If there is something on it that I'm just not seeing, I couldn't find anything on the Discord about it. I'm sure I'm just not looking up the right word for it. I put an animatronic selector, it didn't work. So for now, we're gonna ignore this because really, I'm not sure what this does because we have states and stuff that we can use to have animatronics in there. So, or like what UCN style does for certain. If I had to guess, it's like maybe it's maybe it's for like multiple animatronics appearing in there. I'm not sure though. Again, because I can't like deselect the animatronic. There's got to be like one there if you do select it. Animations, camera, mask on and off. Now for okay, actually, okay. So this is for your camera animation, whatever you want to do for that mask animation, and it will select these from your animations section. So be wary of that. You can also make a power outage animation. Um, which will I think cover just like the entire screen, or like you could just make the screen entirely black if you'd like. Doesn't really matter. And yeah, objects. These are self-explanatory. These are like the what I said for like these buttons right here. You have to import an image that you've made or that you've prepared for a light button. And like for example, I think I have a light button somewhere. I really should have gotten this out. If you see cuts in this video, that's because like I'm brainlit and didn't get everything like ready first before doing all of this. So just be prepared for that. Alright, so first things first. How about we get before we start adding buttons and all the sort, let's change this default thing. Also, to delete a office state, you just go to here and press the subtract button. This is default. Do not delete this. This is going to be the default state for your office. And you're going to click change state sprite. And this is going to change the office graphic. So we're going to click import and you're going to search for whatever office graphic you have for the game. So for me, I have this office default. Let's get that. Press OK. And here we are. So I do have panorama on, and you can see how it's going to look in game. That. Fair warning, the panorama can make placing buttons really difficult. I think they can, at least. I haven't tested it yet, but I am to assume that the buttons will not scale with the panorama. Just put that there. It looks awkward at 0%. So now we're gonna get a light button. We'll just use the light button left. That's why I name my stuff. It sort of scales. I just need to. I think I just need to redraw this because these like buttons are like from what. There's something important you need to know. There's a certain aspect ratio that you need to follow with this. Otherwise it's gonna look weird. Hold on, let me look it up. I know that's. I think it was. Trying to remember what aspect ratio it was, but just give me a second. Alright, it's 1280 by 720. Make sure your images are scaled to that proportion. Otherwise, it's going to turn out weird. And thankfully, the panorama does fix the buttons and whatnot. So that's good. Now, let's see here. Yeah, no. So this is your light button. You can, if you right click it, you'll see the options delete, change sprite, change on sprite, change light ID, change sound, and then toggle the style for either FNAF 1 or FNAF 2, and edit trigger. Now, I know that seems like a lot, but we're going to work through this together. So, first things first, you want to add another state. Preferably a state that's going to correlate with the button you're pressing. So, we're going to make a state for when you're just clicking this button and it's showing like the light in the left door. So, we're going to go add a new state, and we'll just call this door light left. And you're going to have to put in the graphic that you have for when the light is turned on. Open that. And here we go. Yeah. When you click it, it's going to be showing like whatever you have for the left door light, or vice versa. Like if you're making some wonky looking office like I am, where there's like a vent light at the top, then like vice versa, you know. All right, sorry about that. I made a little bit of a mistake. You kind of undermine the importance of how you name your states. So let me correct that real quick. We'll go back to default. We'll add a state, but here's the thing: the button, the name of your button, like okay, I'll just make a state, and we'll go through this. All right. So basically, you want to name your state like left light button colon 1 or something. So it'd be like, or yeah, I would just go with like default. So default will be like when there is no animatronics and it's just the hallway. Sorry, this was a crucial step I almost forgot. You gotta make it like this, like with the colon. Like you can name this anything, just don't forget the colon as like the separator, because not only it's just to help with IDs. So it will tell your light button that it belongs to this state. So when you click it, it goes to this state. So let me get out that light button again. Whoopsies. Boy. I just made the background. I just oh boy, yeah, I'm too tired for this. Yeah, don't not to worry, you can still change it. It's fine. All right, now we're going to add an actual light button, not make the light button the background. Don't do that. That's not good. All right. So we want this button to go to this little state that we have for it, which is the left hallway light. So you're going to right click on it. I'll give a brief overview of what these options do. Change sprite is self-explanatory. It just changes the sprite. Change on sprite is like, you know how in FNAF 1 when you click on the sprite and it glows and stuff like that. It's got it like, so if you wanted to add it so like it's like a light that turned on, then do that. Let's see, change light ID. This is what we want. So the ID is going to be the same thing that you name the state here. So you would so you would right click on here, change light ID, and just put in the name that you put for this state. And vice versa for the right door. So we're gonna name this left light button default. Change sound is just the light sound. Toggle style is to toggle it between FNAF 1 and FNAF 2 lights. Edit trigger is like the little hitbox for your light, for where you want the player to be able to interact with it. So you can make it small if you want to give them hell, or you can make it big and just absurdly big. There's no real size limit. And to move the hitbox around, you just click this, and you can just move it anywhere you want. Yeah. So now we have our light trigger. So when you press this in game, here, let me get rid of the orange thing for a second. When you press this in game, it's gonna turn on the light for whatever door you have or like area you have assigned to it. To simplify it, it's basically an on and off switch in the most literal sense. So if it's on, that switches to this state right here that it's assigned to. Now, the door button is going to be a lot trickier because we need to delve into the animation tab. So just click animations right here from off. It's under Office. And we're going to add a new animation. And we'll just name this left door animation. And we're going to, oh, whoops. Be sure, like even if you add it, it won't select it automatically. So be sure to go to the drop down list and click left door animation or whatever you have it set to. And we're going to use the generate from folder. However, you can import the frames one at a time. And to delete the frames, you can just right click on them. So we're going to generate from a, wait, hold on. I think, yeah, no. That changes the number. If you left click on the number here, it changes what the frame is. And if you left click on the empty space here, it will just bring up the sprite selector, and you kind of know the drill at this point. But right click to delete that. And we're going to use the generate from folder because it makes everything so much faster. Now, before you do this, make sure all of the dimensions are right, and also make sure that the file names are numbered. Otherwise, it's not going to, things get funky real fast. So I'm just going to go to where I have it, left door, right, and there they go. You will need to number these, so I'm just going to do that real quick. Alright, so I've numbered my doors here and animations, and you can see it looks a little wonky, like what happened? Wasn't this supposed to be generating for the folder? Well, I made a crucial error. So you see how, say this mask animation has that little underscore right there? Yeah, don't forget that. Sorry about that. Otherwise it's not going to order the images, and you're going to have this abomination to deal with. I'll probably fix this when I get around to it, but for now, see if it works. Yep, it does work. Sort of. That's just animation error on my end. I didn't make it go all the way down, I guess. Or it's I don't know what's going on here. Because like it's doing that. Oh, it's probably looping back on itself. Yeah, there's actually like a maximum amount of frames you can do. I think it's 9. Let me check. Well, no, it goes up to 11. I think it's just 11. I'm not entirely sure though. Mine is 13. You know, at first if you don't succeed, try again. I think I just have 2 more frames than I should have. Because as you can see, it's starting like the closing frame right there. So yeah, either that or I just messed something up in my own images, but that's kind of on me. I'm still learning this too. I'm just the only one who's trying to get video documentation of it. All right, so now we're gonna add a door button. So let me import that. Door button left. Select, don't forget to select it. And we're just gonna pop that right there. Let's move these out of the way. Alright, same basic thing, only with slightly less stuff. It still has all the edit trigger stuff, all that. But we're gonna go to change door ID. And we're just gonna make it left door default, same as the other one. Better safe than sorry. So left door default. And of course, we're gonna need that little door here that we have. So we're gonna select. It's gonna bring up the animation selector, and you're gonna select the left door animation if you do have it. Don't mind the scale. I just need to, rescale it a bit. And we're gonna go right click on it. Then we're gonna change door ID. And we're just going to copy and paste the same ID we did. So I have left door default for my ID with the colon. So I do left door colon and then default. That's why that's what I do for all the default stuff. And I think, yeah, you can change the open sound and the close sound. Same with the is the change sprite, change on sprite, stuff like that. No sound though for some reason. I think that's just because the door usually makes a sound, so it'd just be kind of redundant. But yeah, that's the doors. Wish I could have made this cleaner. Sorry for the wonky proportions, but I imported this stuff from back when I salvaged this stuff from when I was making this game in Fnaf Maker of all things. And it was very limiting and I hated it. And it had a different aspect ratio. But yeah, sorry for that. You can also put in animations just in the office as well. So I don't have anything to default that, but you could totally animate a fan just on the desk here. Or you could just put other sprites, like posters or something. No, I know it doesn't look very bright right now. It's just how my game's gonna look. But yeah. I think that's about it. That's how you make a door. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I know this tutorial was a bit janky because of all the mishaps, but I really hope this helped you. Yeah. And let's see. I'm just skimming over my notes if there's anything I missed. I think that's all the basics on here. Animation is when you want to put down a fan or some other moving object. Sprite is for just adding objects, non-moving stuff. We got the door, we got the buttons, and this is the one time where I'm gonna say it, or just first time, I guess. If you do have any problems, you can let me know, and as long as I don't get too many comments asking the same question, I probably won't make a FAQ, but I'll probably end up making an FAQ in the description. And again, I'll link the Discord in the description. Yeah, no, I still don't know what this animatronic thing right here is. Yeah, I don't know what this animatronic selector does, but if I find out in the next video, where the next video is going to be on animatronics / cameras, by nature, since I have to do that. I might just make it on cameras and then come back to this if I figure out what this does, along with the USCN style thing. But yeah, for now, take care. Have a good day, have a good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you are. And I'll see you all later.